It makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, there's people that Trump's abused, there's people the BBC have abused, and they still refuse to hear or apologise for what they've done to us. I'm not really looking for an apology. I'm looking for them to be convicted, and this is another one right here.
The apologising is for the way the team edited President Trump's speech to his.
This is
The
another one.
apologising
That's another one.
is for the way
Shamir Shah.
team edited
That's one.
President Trump's speech to his supporters on January the 6th. It was
I don't know
public.
how
We
to say
discussed
it properly, but he's definitely one.
it. And indeed, the reservations and the idea and the there were some people on the board who felt very strong. Others defended it. It was discussed at Panorama, so they knew about that. But I think the point I'm making is, in hindsight, we should have acted earlier and taken a more formal position on it, which we've done more recently. Part of the problem is the way it was edited. Yeah. But what was the consequence of that? I think we just need to go into a bit more detail, which is what we finally did, which was the impression it left on the British audience, as opposed to the intention of the programme, which was to give the British audience
He's got a tie as well. He's got the tie.
Understanding of how President Trump supporters were reading it. Now, that's quite a complicated set of thoughts, and we need to get that right. Let's be clear about the role of the board. We are a non-executive board. 10 of us are non-execs, 4 execs. The job of the board is to review BBC output and to maintain and to represent the public interest. It is not our job to determine who or who should not be the Director of News. That is the job of the Director General. It is for him to say and for him to determine. And that's the only position I take, and I insist that the board takes. I did not want to lose Tim Davie. I think Tim Davie has been an outstanding Director General, and may I say, nor did any member of the board. We were upset by the decision. I do understand it at a very human level. Non-execs, 4 execs. The job of the board is to review BBC output and to maintain and to represent the public interest. It is not our job to determine who or who should not be the Director of News. That is the job of the Director General. It is for him to say and for him to determine. And that's the only position I take, and I insist that the board takes. I did not
Tim Davie, that's it. That's the name.
Davie. I think Tim Davie has been an outstanding Director General, and may I say, nor did any member
of the woman as well, the one that got dismissed, she's familiar too.
Board. We were upset by the decision. I do understand it at a very human level. Tim has gone through a lot of attacks.
He's familiar to me, and Tim Davie is definitely a person of interest.
It's been relentless. It's also a very, very difficult job. We do take it really seriously. I mean, there are real issues here. They're over a 3-year period. And just let me say, the BBC in those 3 years has produced hundreds and hundreds.
The Davies are involved in the sexual assaults against me as a child, including grooming me for prostitution.
Hours of outstanding journalism on television, on audio, on online. We have, and we do a great job there, but inevitably we make mistakes. And what he's identified are mistakes, either individual ones or ones that point to underlying problems, which we accept. But the statistics say that the British people, more than anything else, if there was this consistent institutional bias, do you think we'd have those figures? We wouldn't. So I don't think that's right. That's not to say that there aren't real problems, real issues, both underlying and specific. I don't think there's a systemic bias in anti-Israel. I mean, there are loads of arguments that suggest almost the opposite, you know.
They're actually more in favour of Israel, that's a fact.
I think that we have issues, I put underlying problems, and we've made changes in leadership to try and deal with that. But I think, you know, it's worth talking about the scale of the...
Go and look for the one that I'm speaking of. Okay, I found it now. Here they are. And actually, I seriously believe that Yeah, there's quite a few faces there. The guy with the guy on the right, and the guy opening the guy with the ribbon that's about to be cut. Oh, hang on. So there's the guy with. Let's make sure this is getting recorded. The guy here, this one, and those two. I'd say there's even more behind them. Okay. So now you've got an insight into these things. And if you look at this lot as well, even these new gangsters, you need to investigate them as well. The new actors, I should say. They're like, see, their genre. That's Donald Trump, Joe Pesci, and all them. You know, the mafia. They're following my what you could say is my direction. But I had no intentions of helping them. I was just, as I say, shoots and leaves the room. So I basically gave them an idea. So in plain sight, how to confuse your victims, put them on there, put your abusers or you the abusers on their screen, and they'll be none the wiser. Okay. There's also the others. Don't miss out the others because they're all the same. Right? You watch the whole film, you'll see more beasts. Female, don't forget the female. This is one here. This one too. They're all like that. And there's his partner, you see. That one there. There. They're all recognised. I've seen them all. Since especially, she went afterwards in the 1990s, that's when they're a serious fuck up. That's when they started to realise they'd fucked up big time. Because they didn't see me going anywhere they wanted me to be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, as the President swears in enlistees of our United States military. Please raise your right hands. Support and